Hi everyone, welcome back to Our Hollywood. I'm Daniel.
I'm Kim, and
We're,
today,
this is Our Hollywood After Dark. It is 9 p.m.
yeah, I don't have you recorded this late before.
No, literally never. We've recorded max like 6 p.m. and that was
I'm
already a lot.
surprisingly fine for being like doing things all weekend.
Me too. I had Dunkin' Donuts like a couple hours ago, so I'm fully caffeinated right now. And also, I have Oscars high right now because the
Yeah, Daniel
Oscars
said
were
the Oscars
insane.
are really good. So, okay, well,
And I've
first of
never
all,
said that in my entire life. And
yeah,
I'll be
literally.
very clear about that.
So, first of all, this episode is behind the curtain, dissecting celeb or singer documentaries.
Yeah, like pop stars. I think most of
Yeah,
them are pop stars that we
yeah, I would
picked.
consider all of these people pop stars.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a country singer that had a documentary, but that's not relevant to us. So sorry about
We
that.
can't do everything, you know?
Taylor Swift is technically a country artist sometimes.
But like in the documentary, it's like when she's like in her
Pop girly era.
yeah, pop girly era. Um
But for a pre-show right now, Daniel is fresh off of watching the Oscars, and
mhm.
I was busy all day until now.
Yeah,
What
I
I
just
had to contribute is thoughts on red carpet because I did that while
okay.
you were watching.
Okay. Okay, do your red carpet roundup. Kim's red
Okay,
carpet roundup.
so I took screenshots. First of
Okay.
all, Timothy Chalamet ate
Yeah.
ate the fuck up. And then in one of the videos I saw of him, like, okay, first of all, he's like, I feel like he's in his true Willy Wonka era. Like he's already creating hype around Willy Wonka
Oh, okay.
because that was like the shape of the suit jacket that he was wearing, and he didn't
Right.
wear anything underneath. He had a
Fun.
long necklace, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Because I don't even like Timothy Chalamet like that. Like, I can appreciate that he's attractive. Like, I'm not blind, but like, personally, like, I mean, like, I don't know. The way I like categorize it is like hot, and I would date, hot, and I would like pipe, you know?
Okay. And then
And
hot
I'm
and you
still
would
not
kill.
sure where Timothy Chalamet falls on that for me, but
Okay.
maybe today it's and I pipe because
Okay. Thank you for letting everyone know.
because um
No, I think we know. I think anyone who saw that picture knows why. Like I don't
no,
think you
but I'm
need to
saying okay, so I watched this video
okay.
and it was him walking and like the back of the
Oh,
jacket like high up and like seeing his lower back did something for me.
okay. We we saw his little back in Dune, but
Did
not in
we?
this context. We did. He was shirtless, and when he wakes up
Okay, no,
in the
I
morning.
don't know. It was like a little tease today.
No. Oh. Today,
So it was a
and the
different
teasing were
presentation
fun.
of the lower back,
You're
and
right.
I appreciated this presentation of it.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. And that's
Who
it
else
for.
did I like? I liked the Amelia, who is the star of Coda. I loved
Okay.
her dress. She had like this dramatic cutout,
Okay.
and it's kind of like a champagne color,
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
and she just looked fucking good, and I appreciate
Period.
it. Who else looked good? Maya Rudolph looked good.
Also,
I love
I like how
Amelia.
you have to do this on here because they banned your TikTok.
Yeah.
For the listeners at home, Kim got banned on TikTok.
If
That's
I don't get it
literally
back
insane.
next week, I'm literally gonna kill myself, I think.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a
I'm
lot.
getting really depressed about it because, like, at first I was like, it's fine, it's fine. But TikTok is so slow on getting back to you about things.
Yeah.
And it's just like, tomorrow I have to check in with the
Okay.
person that I'm talking to about getting it back.
You, oh, right.
Anyway, Maya Rudolph, she's like wearing this orange muumuu with like I just love this type of feather trim. She
Okay.
ate.
Yeah.
Love Maya Rudolph. Who else? Zoe Kravitz. There's a lot of blush pink on the red carpet this
Also
time.
red. There's a lot of red. I was like, oh,
Yeah, and I just think I really like this Zoe Kravitz thing because I feel like we always see her in like super sexy, like edgy looks,
mm.
and she was like pretty in pink, and I
She
love
was
that
like,
for
I'm at
her.
the Oscars. I'm at the
Yeah,
Oscars.
she's like Martin Scorsese cast me or Steven Spielberg.
Ooh.
Spielberg.
Okay.
I liked Olivia Colman's dress. I love a pleat. I love a metallic. I love Jessica Chastain's freaking outfit because
Uh-huh.
it's so Tammy Faye.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
Tammy,
is.
she was on theme, and I really fucking appreciate it. Also, my room is like definitely darker because there's one light out, and now it's starting to bother me. Um, Maggie Gyllenhaal, love it. Very asymmetrical. It's like a T, but I love the
Oh, I
little
don't even think I saw
gilded.
that. Period.
thingies. I think they're roses. I don't know what they are. Um, who else? I love Moreno's little hat piece.
Who?
Rita Moreno. She's
Oh
wearing
yeah.
like this little hat.
I love
Kind of a
Rita
vibe.
Moreno.
I'm inspired.
Yeah.
And for men, Cody Smith McPhee 8. Um, and Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield also 8.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I love that little, like, it's like that. What's it called? Like when it's like a really deep red that it's almost black, like ox blood or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it's just really satisfying. There's a couple other
Also,
people, but I'll see.
why was Kevin Jonas there? I still didn't get an answer.
I asked you the question.
No, I know, but like I was like, okay, because when I was looking at the red carpet, I was like, why is this person there? Why is this person there? And then as I was watching, I was like, oh, they're there for this, to present this, or to be part of this. I didn't even see Kevin Jonas in the audience.
Yeah, I was looking at all the red carpet pictures and I was like, why? Why?
And Joe and Sophie were there. I don't
They
know why
were?
either. Yeah, someone sent me a picture. Where was
What
Nick?
nothing.
And Nick is the actor one.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so here are my okay. So I watched them live on air, which I usually don't do, honestly. But because we did the Oscars episode, this was like the first time where I've seen almost all of the Best Picture nominees. So I was like, I feel very qualified.
Yeah,
So
we should
I
do this
wanna
every
be-
year. I
we
feel
should.
really like I think it helps with the hype of the awards as well.
It does. It does. Because sometimes when you're watching the Oscars and you haven't seen any of the movies, you're like, good for them, but I also am not invested in this.
Exactly.
So who knew? Who knew that watching the movies would make it more fun?
Such a shocker.
Yeah.
I bet you, but like the thing is, like half of the Academy, probably over half the Academy, doesn't watch all the movies. So
Amy Schumer literally made a joke. She like when at the beginning she was like, I haven't seen any of the movies, which I don't know if it's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past her.
I wouldn't
Or,
be
like,
surprised.
No, yeah. Okay, so I kind of wrote down my top moments. I just also want to say it was so clear that they were like, they saw that last year what they flopped because like their ratings were so low that they were like,
They've been
we're
flopping though.
no, I know, but I think they knew, they were like, okay, we're gonna try and make this as internet and like meme worthy as possible because they did every possible like clickbaitable thing that you could do. And
I'm
it was
scared.
kind of fun. No, you should be, but I will say that I had a lot of fun.
You should be,
Okay.
but yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot of influencers, which they haven't done before.
It's like an interesting choice. I don't know how I feel about that still.
I mean, like, I honestly don't mind when influencers on red carpets, personally. Maybe because it's kind of selfish because I'm like, I want to be invited.
Well, I
Even
it's
though I'm like nobody.
I'm down with it too. Like I'm down with influencers hosting red carpets. I think it's fun, but like the Oscars, I don't know about that. Like VMAs, but also Shawn Mendes was there. He presented an award.
Yeah, the people, they were kind of random.
Anyways, okay, so they kind of changed the structure a little bit, and so I'm kind of going by like things they added instead of specific moments, just so I can cover more ground quickly. Okay, so they did a couple reunions throughout the show, and I thought it was so fun. They did a Pulp Fiction reunion. It was so funny. It was Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, and Uma Thurman.
Like they were presenting, or were they
Yeah.
like?
It was like it's like they show a clip from the movie and then all three of them come out, they do a little presentation for the next thing, and they did a little skit where like Samuel L. Jackson was like talking and Uma Thurman and John Travolta were dancing like in the movie. It was fun.
Aw.
Yeah.
No, because they definitely saw that like everybody was doing like those table reads over the pandemic, and we're like,
yeah.
oh, the love reunions. We're doing it.
Because they do, and I don't even care. I love reunions.
No, it's fun. Like that's the thing. I think the thing about Oscars, why it flopped so hard, is because they thought so highly. They were like the just film student in your class. That's like, I know everything, and I love French movies, but I won't say that they're my favorite movie because it's a foreign film.
Yeah. They're like MCU. Don't know what that is. That's the vibe they were getting before, where they made a lot of Spider-Man references this time. But okay, then there was also a Juno reunion and a Godfather reunion. Both very fun.
I love that.
I loved it too. I was
Wait,
like,
who was Elliot Page with? Jason Bateman?
No,
Michael Cera?
this is so embarrassing. Who's the one lady?
It's one of I get them mixed up. Natalie. Is it the one that was married to Ben Affleck?
I think so. What's her name?
That's
We
not
love
Natalie
her.
Portman.
I just know we love
Jennifer
her.
Garner.
Jennifer Garner. I was like, we've talked about her like extensively.
They
on
look
here.
so similar.
They
Also,
do, they do. And also the guy who was like in a Batman movie. I'm so sorry, guys. I have so many celebrity
the
names.
guy who was in a
a
Batman movie.
J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons. My brain right now is literally like Entertainment Weekly dictionary right now. Like my brain is so frazzled. So let's just move on from that. But yeah, that's who Elliot was with. Anyways, so okay, so those were fun. I thought that was a fun way to do it. Then we have the performances. So
Beyonce 8, I watched that.
Yeah.
I was like shooken. I was shaken.
Good. So good. They all looked like little tennis balls. Like that was like the color because like Venus and Serena like 10 out of 10. And then right after Venus and Serena opened the show, or maybe they introduced Beyonce. I think they introduced Beyonce.
That would make sense.
Yeah, they did. And looked good, obviously. Billie Eilish sang "No Time to Die" for like the 50th time. Literally, like that song has been around for like 5 years because that movie got delayed so long.
Literally.
But she won an Oscar for it. Her and
I
Phineas
know,
won an
how
Oscar.
fun.
So she's halfway to an EGOT.
I heard Megan Thee Stallions. We don't talk about Bruno rendition was really good.
No, okay. Here I am. My mom was like, they're gonna sing "We Don't Talk About Bruno" on the like Academy Awards. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense because usually they perform the songs that are nominated for Best Song. I was like, that song wasn't nominated. It was the other song, the one in Spanish. And then they sang the one in Spanish, but then they were like, oh, get ready to like talk about what we don't talk about or something like that. And I was like, are they really?
No.
It? And then no, it was like they were going to commercial break and they were like, stay tuned because we don't talk about Bruno. It was like that.
Okay, because the way you just said it, I was like, man.
Yeah, no. And so they introduce the song and they're like they do the first verse, but then it's like all the cast and I was like, are they not doing the whole song? I was very confused. And then all of a sudden, Megan Thee Stallion like pops out from behind a corner. And I was like, oh my God. And she just starts rapping about like the Oscars. And I was like, this would have been fun as the opening number. Like I get Beyonce's like amazing, but like this doesn't make sense in the middle of the show.
Beyonce probably said like,
I'm opening
you put me
nothing.
First, or
yeah,
and
fair.
honestly, respect
Production value.
as she should.
Yeah, like I can't even be mad about it, but it just felt really random. And then it's not even done. And then Becky G and like, oh my God, I forgot the name of the man. They sing the rest of the song. So weird, so weird.
But I can't wait for that to be on YouTube. I don't think it's on YouTube yet.
It's and I don't even know what I don't know what any of them were saying. I could not understand any of them, and the subtitles weren't going fast enough. So I was like, I'm gonna have to rewatch.
And you understand Spanish?
No, they were singing in English. Like Megan and Becky G and like the other. I don't remember the other guy's name.
I thought Becky G. Oh no, she's like both. Spanglish. Yeah.
I think she's like doing Spanish music now mostly, but her verse was in English. I don't know. It was so fun.
Becky G walks so Rosalia could run.
Okay. I'm not gonna comment on that.
I feel like somebody would agree with me on that.
Somebody will agree on anything we say, honestly.
One person.
Yeah, at least one. There are 99 people in a room, but at least one of them will agree with you.
That's a good segue though.
Wait,
but
no, I have some more.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Well, there's just two more. The hosting, honestly, wasn't even mad about it. They did really good. Even Amy.
Okay.
Even Amy.
Who's Amy?
Schumer.
Oh.
It was Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes.
Oh, that were hosting it.
It was good. The way they did it was like they opened together and then they kind of did bits and pieces here and there, and then they would do parts together again. And honestly, they were really funny. All of them. Like they did really good. So yeah. I kind of like if they do it this little like they pick three funny people and just have them do it. I'm down for that. I think it worked well. And then
women can be funny, guys. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, who would have known? So Chris Rock walks out. I just want to say I've never been I've never reacted this viscerally to something on my television other than 90 Day Fiance. So the Chris Rock comes out to introduce I don't even no, I was so frazzled. I don't even know what award it
Documentary
was.
feature.
Documentary feature. I don't even know who won. I literally was just I don't my brain was so frazzled. So Chris Rock comes out, he makes it's like he thought he was hosting it. Which like come on, just do your little bit and leave. But he was starting to make jokes about people in the audience as if you're like the opening host. And then he goes, Jada Pinkett Smith is here, like ready for G.I. Jane 2, because like she shaved her head. And then Chris Rock goes like, "Oh, what about something?" And you can't. I think he's like, "Will's coming" or something. And Will Smith walks up to
He
him.
calls him Richard.
Really?
Yeah, he called him Richard.
He walks up and smacks Chris Rock across the face, and I was like, "That was fake." And then the audio cuts out. And then it like freezes, and I was like, I looked at my mom, was like, was that real? And then it's like quiet, and you see they like cut to Will Smith yelling with Lupita Nyong'o, very confused behind her, and he's like yelling something so angry, and then I don't know what's happening, and then the sound comes back, and then it's Chris Rock like being very frazzled, continuing.
He was like okay. He literally went okay. Like what?
Yeah, and I cannot believe that just happened. And then I looked on social media and there was like the uncensored version and Will Smith.
But when you told me, I immediately went to go watch it and I could tell exactly what he was saying because he was saying it with his whole damn chest.
Yeah, he was like,
don't talk about my fucking wife.
I know.
I saw all of that enunciation.
I wish.
But I'm sure in the moment it was just like, what is going on?
I wish they had cut some more audience reactions so badly.
They had like Nicole Kidman's photo reaction because they have photographers in the audience. Like there's a picture of like in the action of Will Smith. Like they're so quick with it. It didn't even happen an hour ago.
No,
it did not even happen an hour ago. Think about that.
Like, you know how like when Moonlight and the La La Land thing happened, they did like a wide shot and it was like everyone in the audience like reactions. I wanted that with this, but like also it was so funny because for the rest, like I'm not like 30 minutes passed or whatever, and there's a part where you can see because Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were sitting in the front, and she looks still scared. 30 minutes later, and Keith Urban is like holding her hand, and I was like, what is she scared about? It was so funny. It was so funny.
Nicole Kidman reminds me of a deer.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. She's very delicate, but I feel like she gets frazzled. Like when she's like shooken out of her element, she's like, you know.
Honestly, I absolutely understand.
Thank you.
And that's all I have to say about the Oscars.
And you know what?
Like, what do you think about this like specific situation with Will Smith? And he won his Oscar right after this.
Yeah. So I saw that he was crying when he accepted his Oscars because he was like kind of embarrassed. And he was like apologizing
to the Academy, though, not to Chris Rock.
To the Academy. No, he said to my fellow nominees as well.
Chris Rock wasn't nominated though.
No, but he thought it was like disrespectful. Like, he won the award when he like acted out at an event, you know?
Yeah,
I guess, but like you can't change who wins. Like they already fucking voted.
Yeah.
But it's also obvious that he was gonna win. You know?
Yeah, and like honestly,
like we said that last time. Like he did this to get his Oscar and like respect, honestly.
Like was that out of pocket a little bit? Sure, whatever. But like I think he deserved the Oscar.
But also, like sometimes comedians need to be checked. I don't know if they need to be slapped on television, but also like I can't say like if I was in Will Smith's place that I wouldn't do that.
No, but like
meet him at the right moment.
Meet him in the Dolby Theater parking lot after the show. Bring cameras if you want. But then also like we wouldn't get to see it. So, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
But I was just like, I just feel bad that like that's the moment that's gonna taint his win, you know, because it should be like a.
And I think that's probably why he was.
People are gonna argue. People are gonna argue like, well, he's the one to control his emotions, blah blah blah. But like Chris Rock, it's like a history thing. So like Chris.
Oh yeah.
Made jokes about Jada before, and Jada, I guess I didn't know this until like I read this article, but I guess she has alopecia. That's why she has a shaved head, and she's had it for like years. And that I mean that's admirable that he would stand up for his wife. It's just like place and time, I guess. But also, I'm not gonna sit here and tell him he was wrong.
It's like I don't know. I could see like Chris Rock it kind of was too far, and then also Will Smith, it was kind of too far. I don't know. The whole thing is just like whatever. I don't have any strong
Yeah,
feelings
I
about it
don't
other
have
than it made
feelings
really good
towards it.
TV.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. It was really fun for us as an audience who is detached from this.
Yeah. But, you know, I just but yeah, like I said, like I feel bad that this is gonna be like it might overshadow his win, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Because like
Although,
he is an icon. Like even though like he's not my favorite actor, like
yeah,
I can appreciate that he has inspired a lot of people,
he
and
is an
like
icon.
respect on that, you know, and like good on the win.
Period.
Like he's gonna see this.
Yeah, us being like, Will Smith, please don't punch us.
No, but like for real though, like I can like because like I'm trying like again with like this new mindset that we're all on. Like I'm trying to see both sides. Like I cannot
Yeah,
like an actor specifically, but I can appreciate what they have done for like other
yeah.
people, and like
Period.
I can celebrate that for them.
Yeah,
We're going in with new mindsets. It's giving
we
therapy.
are.
We've been to a little bit of therapy.
That's exactly what it's giving. But yeah, so that was the Oscars. Honestly, I think they did a pretty fun job of like kind of revamping the show a little bit, and you could tell it was like a little bit cringy and too on the nose at points, but I still had a lot of fun, and I
I
think
think
this
that
year's
makes
gonna
it
be fun.
fun though, because it like gives
Yeah,
somebody to talk about. When it's stale, it's
yeah,
like, okay, what the hell are we going to talk about on Twitter?
exactly.
They have to facilitate like
Yeah,
moments. And like who I told Daniel, I was like, whoever made these changes, they need a raise.
yeah, I agree. I think they did a great job in making it like a bit more between like the old people who are like a film and like the teenagers who are like, why would I watch this? It kind of met them in between.
Yeah. But also like I think because Letterboxd has had like a whole like thing the past year in the pandemic,
Yeah,
because it didn't exist. I mean, I think it existed before the pandemic, but it like the
it did
popularity
exist, but
of
nobody
like
used it.
yeah. And I think maybe the Oscars or the Academy didn't realize like that younger people actually liked watching like
Yeah,
interesting quote unquote movies. So they just did it. They
critically
just were
acclaimed.
pandering to the older people.
Yeah,
But I also think like the internet has called them out on so much. They're like,
yeah,
and I think they tried to like cheat their way into wokeness, but now they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
actually hiring. I'm hoping this is why I hope like they're hiring more diverse voices to put on the show. So that's why we're seeing this change.
Period.
Fingers crossed I'm right, because I think so.
I think, but I truly have no idea what's going on behind the scenes.
We have no intel.
No, sorry guys. But yeah, that was our little Oscars roundup. We're gonna be right back, and then we'll be back with our fun little topic, and we'll explain our wardrobe because I guess. We're back, or maybe we never left. I don't know. I love how every week I'm like, I don't know how you guys are watching this. I'm just very confused.
Which is funny because you're the one that edits it.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally edit this in like
The irony
probably
of
an hour.
that.
Okay, so here we were trying to decide what we were gonna do for this week's episode, and I was watching the Olivia Rodrigo "Driving Home to You" Disney Plus musical event, and I was like, "What if we did like so like celebrity pop star documentaries?" And Kim was like, "I was literally about to say that because if there's one thing
Like I
we
was gonna
know
suggest
about
it, but
celebrities,
I didn't know how you would feel about it, so I didn't
I
suggest it first.
these are some of my favorite kinds of documentaries.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I love, and I don't know why. No, I literally, I really don't understand why I have an obsession with these. But oh, let's explain our wardrobe. Okay, so here's what happened. So I was wearing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt, and Kim was wearing a Dua Lipa shirt because we went to go see her last week. Or when was that? Was that this week? That was this week. I've had a
Yeah.
long week. And then Kim was like, "You should put on your Dua Lipa shirt too." So I went to go change. Then I put my Dua Lipa shirt on, and then Kim was like, "Wait, I should wear my One Direction shirt." And I was like, "Well, yeah, because when else are we ever going to talk about One Direction on this podcast?" So that's how we got here. And that's it.
Very true.
Where'd you get that shirt? Is that like
yeah.
OG merch?
This is the first tour they ever did in America. Fun fact.
Period. And did you get it
I've
at
been
the tour?
OG.
And did you get it at the tour?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. I went to all of their American tours.
I Well, okay, let's start here. Okay, so basically, what we're gonna do is I have like a list of a couple celebrity documentaries, or pop star documentaries that we can like briefly talk about what we like, what we didn't like in terms of like the style and like the content, and also the artists themselves. And I'm kind of going by year, but also kind of not. So I kind of just have a list, and we'll probably talk like so much about some, and then nothing about some other ones. But I just
That's
think they're
usually how
worth
it goes.
mentioning. Yeah. So yeah, we can start with One Direction. This Is Us, which I saw for the first time in my entire life yesterday.
It's such a like fever dream, isn't it?
I was literally just staring at it like I have I don't. It
Okay.
was like watching. No, yeah, it was a fever dream. I was so shocked by everything in it.
So I watched this like this was when midnight
Premieres.
premieres were still a thing, bitch.
Oh,
Like
I love those.
I like remember walking after high school when I knew the tickets were dropping. I walked my ass over to the AMC. I
Uh-huh.
bought my ticket early, and this is also before like oh my god, this was before you picked your seats. So you
Yeah,
know, like you had to like
you had to
line
run.
up. It
Yeah.
was such an interesting experience. And I mean, of course, when I'm in my days as a One Direction fan, when I'm like what in like high school,
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with it, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're so funny and so quirky, and I love
Yeah.
them. They're
Yeah.
so
That's the
cute
vibe I was
and so
getting from it.
hot. Yeah, and that's how it is. And I think it's funny, stylized. Like it's so fake.
It
It's
is.
fake. It's and it gives when you look at it post One Direction breakup, it just is like, wow, yeah. I feel like it was very surface level, and I do feel
Yeah.
like maybe I don't know. It just makes me kind of sad to look back on it. It's kind of like
It
eerie
is
in
sad.
a
It,
way.
no, I literally wrote that on my letterbox review. I was like, this is such an eerie movie
Did you
because
really?
yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna read what I wrote because I was like the entire time watching it, I was like, I feel like I'm watching a social experiment. Like this is
It
so
is. It
weird,
is.
especially being so far removed from the situation. Like we're 10 years later now, almost, or no, 10 years, right?
Wait, over 10 years. Yeah.
Over 10 years, yeah. Where we know, how what happened, and we know how they broke up. Whatever we know things that have happened
We
past
don't know
this.
everything, which I'm sure if we
No,
knew
we don't.
everything, the tea would be fucking hot.
Okay, no, yeah, okay, we can get into that in a little bit. But I wrote a very superficial and manufactured look at the rise of One Direction. And I wrote the best and most authentic moments are the ones with each of the boys' family members and how their own lives have been affected. And I could have honestly watched an entire documentary just about that. Also kind of eerie and bittersweet watching this years later, knowing what's coming. Songs still slap though. Like there's literally one part of like the four, it's like Harry, Louis, Niall, Liam. They're all on a roof and they're like cheering the fans, and then they cut to Zayn in a room alone looking out the window, and I was like,
Yeah, full on anxiety attack.
"Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!"
how
And
weird is that?
it was just, and you can
It just makes me
see,
feel sad for Zayn because, like, I remember I
yeah,
watched it like kind of soon
yeah,
after he left, and I was like,
yeah,
like, I mean, like maybe I was like projecting because I was like kind of sad about him leaving, but like, I mean, I think he's even talked about how like he didn't feel like he was
no,
a
yeah,
part of the group, you know,
and you
because
can, and you, sorry, go ahead,
he's talks about how he struggles with mental health and stuff.
yeah,
Like he's talked about that before, so like I could only imagine what that is like on that scope.
yeah.
And I'll never experience that. Like
No, because
I
it was so weird because like that, okay, the scene that I was talking about. So Zayn, cut to Zayn's family like looking at his new house. It's his brand new house. It's huge, and then the mom calls him and she's like, "Thank you so much for the house. Like, I'm so proud of you." Blah blah, like whatever. And then Zayn is like, "Yeah, of course. That's why I'm doing it." And then he like ends the phone call and he just looks sad, and I was like, that was one of the only like interesting parts of the entire documentary because you were like, he's it seems like he wasn't even enjoying it. He was just doing it because like he just bought his family house. So he's gonna keep doing it because it's doing good for everyone else, which is really depressing. It's really
uh,
sad.
and I hope
Such a
Zayn
sad
writes a
watch.
memoir one day or
Oh, I
something. Like
hope so.
like genuinely I mean I was a Zayn girl. Let's be clear.
Okay.
I was a
Okay.
Zayn girl first and like Harry second. Like and I don't know, I feel so bad for Zayn. Like
Yeah.
he has just been through the goddamn ringer,
Yeah,
you
he
know.
has. Leave Zane alone, universe. Leave him
Even
alone,
now
please. Yeah.
he's been through the ringer. So
Yeah.
I feel bad for Zayn. Anyways, let's pivot to something happier. What was some of your favorite moments in This Is Us?
I loved the random celebrity cameos. When Martin Scorsese walks into that room, I was like, no way.
Did you see that
No
letterbox that
way.
was like Martin Scorsese watching Marvel movies and it
Yeah.
was like mad? And it's like Martin Scorsese meeting One Direction. And it was
I was like, period. I couldn't even be mad. Or like the Chris Rock is in it for like 2 seconds. Not even with
yeah.
them. It's just him saying how much he loves One Direction. Cristiano Ronaldo is in it playing soccer with them. I was like, what is going on? Like literally what is going on? But I do wish, because like I had watched the Jonas Brothers one right before this. And so the Jonas Brothers one kind of goes like, oh, this is how they rose and this is why they fell apart. And so like I don't know. I was like my head, I was just like waiting for the part where they like fall apart.
Well,
And I was
I
like, oh wait,
mean,
that's
when
not
this
gonna be in
movie
this
came
movie.
out, this was their peak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I
I
mean,
would
that's
love
fair.
to see. I don't think it'll ever happen, not in a million years. But if it was like a One Direction, kind of like what they did with the Jonas Brothers, where it was like each like okay 5 episodes, and it's like what they each did after they left, and like interviews with the family, interviews with like them specifically and each of their family members. I would love to see like their
Yeah.
thoughts on the aftermath. I don't think we'll
Zayn
ever
would
get it.
never do that.
Not in
I
a
was
million
just talking
years.
about it with somebody, and I was like,
No.
it's just sad because we'll never have a whole One Direction reunion.
No.
And like, I
No.
can't even say that I blame Zayn.
No, absolutely not.
Like,
It's like
genuinely.
sad, but it's like it's I no whatever. It's
What
not.
was your favorite? Okay, I
Happy
mean, there's
moment.
only one favorite like performance, and it's Teenage Dirtbag.
Yeah, of course.
Good God, was that a cultural fucking reset?
Why is it
Like,
not on
I think about
Spotify?
it. I still think about it,
Me
like, very
too.
often.
I knew about it and I hadn't even seen this movie.
Really? That just
Yes.
shows the
I
true
watched
cultural
that-
impact.
No, I watched that little music video with like the little comic book effects. I saw that like in high school. Like I knew
so-
about this. See, I didn't know what it was from, but like I knew about this performance, and I can't believe it's not on anything. I'm so mad. I literally right after I watched it, I was like, let me see if this is on Spotify, and it's not.
Yeah, no.
Disrespectful, and it never will be unless someone
Also,
like
like,
pirates it.
I do think it's funny when documentaries, like when it's talking about like very famous boys, and they always
yeah.
talk about like fangirl, like what
Yeah.
happens in the fangirl. I think they're the first. Oh no,
Oh, the brain part.
Justin
That was
Bieber
so
definitely
stupid.
did some. No, it was funny. That was like a LOL moment,
Okay.
like in the time
to
that
be
I
fair-
watched
okay.
it.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm watching this as a 23-year-old man who was not a One Directioner during the rise.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like watching it from a completely different lens.
But
I
I
still had
remember
fun. I had
everybody
so
was
much fun.
losing their fucking mind in the goddamn theater when he was explaining that brain chemistry.
And they were shirtless a lot. They were so much shirtless.
Well, duh. Like, that's the fucking point.
I started watching the Shawn Mendes one, and I'm not even kidding. It opens with him in the shower. The documentary opens with Shawn Mendes in the shower, and then Camilo's there, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna watch this.
You know what? I'm fine with it because women. Remember when we went to Dua Lipa?
Fair.
She was like
Yeah.
humping
No.
the microphone stand, and like, all power to her. She looked
I
fucking
love Dua
good.
Lipa. Yeah.
But like, like it's just a very overtly sexual, and a lot of pop star girlies have to make all the performance overly sexual. But like, so you know what? I will take One Direction being shirtless in their fucking documentary.
Fair.
Because you know what?
Changing in their underwear.
Let me tell you something. Like, upon like reflection
too.
of like being a directioner, like they they didn't do, like, when you think about other boy bands,
Yeah.
they didn't do like anything on stage but like just run around and be fucking dorks.
Okay. I'm scared to say this. One Directioners, please don't come for me. I just like literally
One Directioners.
pleasing
One
by hairstyles
Directioners.
on my nails right now.
Guys, that just shows you how he's
Don't come
so
for me.
far removed.
I
He said One Directioners.
Directioners, whatever.
Thank you.
A lot of their songs are so misogynistic. I was listening to it, and a
No,
lot
we
of their
know.
songs that were like there was that one where it was like, it was like, I don't even know what the song was, but it was like, oh, you can't fit into your jeans, but I still love you. I was like, no way.
No, we know. Daniel, let me tell you something. We are highly aware, and it's like a joke now.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. That is shocking. That is so shocking.
Well,
to
I
me.
don't know. I think like more of the self-aware directioners, I guess, think it's funny, but there's still some
Probably.
people that are like in a daze. Like, and
No,
you know what?
fair.
Fair enough.
It's like whatever. It's so far gone. Like they're not even together anymore. There's no
Funny.
reason to be mad about it. Like it's
And I
just
guess
funny.
the way I can like transition this is like I think well, Never Say Never came out before
Yeah.
this, and I, even though I'm a directioner, I was also a believer.
I think you're
and,
just a fan.
I think Never Say Never is the better
Oh,
documentary,
okay. And
and
would you like to
that's
elaborate?
hard for me to admit. It's
Okay.
hard for me to admit, but I think it's because there are still some like One Direction is like pretty much fully manufactured. Like literally, they had like a
Yeah.
fake camping scene. Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
So, but at least like in Justin Bieber's Never Say, like the first one, we're gonna talk about Never Say Never, not the second one because like whatever, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
And Never Say Never, like I like that they took like you saw his childhood home, like you got to like spend time with his hometown friends, and it still felt like very innocent. Like this is pre like Justin Bieber, like I guess gone wild, if you want to say that. Like
Yeah.
when he like was in his like fuckboy era.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think his story is really interesting in general, like as a celebrity as a whole. So like I remember like because it's like free on YouTube or something, and I watched it
really?
like maybe a month ago, and I was like having so much fun. It's just fun. And you know
Yeah.
who directed it? Do you know who directed it? Don't look it up yet.
No, I do know because I put it on the
Okay.
Instagram. John and Chu.
Yeah,
That
Crazy
is
Rich
so
Asians,
cool.
bitch.
In the
And it,
Heights.
yeah, and
something
in the
else
Heights,
coming up.
he has such a certain style.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like very much like that in Never Say Never. And I think like the 3D aspects are still funny. Like
Yeah.
the way that they cut from like actual like Justin Bieber life to the concert, I just think is like really interesting editing wise and like flow wise. Like I think it flows really well. And I think it's still like a really enjoyable thing to watch.
Period.
Especially with the context of where Justin Bieber is like now and what happened after, you know?
Yeah. I would love to see a documentary about like Demi Lovato dancing with the devil style of Justin Bieber, like what happened after and like
He
what
kinda
led to his
did.
mental health. Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. He had I guess 3.
Okay.
So he had Believe after, and then he had a
Period. I
YouTube
remember that
series
one.
come out called Seasons.
Oh, and
And that
YouTube
was
also
like
did the Demi Lovato one.
yeah.
Wait, what's it called? Seasons?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, docuseries. Oh,
Yeah.
fun. I'll have
It
to
was
watch
good.
it.
It was really interesting, and I
Last year.
don't think
2 years
I
ago.
feel like only Justin Bieber fans watched it. Like because with Demi Lovato's,
Probably.
it was like everybody watched it. But
Yeah.
with Justin Bieber's, I feel like it was really just for his fans. Like it felt kind of like a reconciliation for him, like kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
And it just reminded everybody like he is still like the Never Say Never kid at heart.
Oh.
And he really
Yeah.
is. Like I just feel bad because Justin Bieber has been manipulated by the fucking system, and you
Yeah.
can tell it really like fucked him up. And I really genuinely hope that he is in a better place now. Like it just makes me sad to like see any child, like we could do a whole episode about how child stars are manipulated in the system.
Yeah.
Like it's really fucking dark.
It's scary. So scary.
And like once you like become aware of it, it's just like you get scared when any like person under 18 gets famous. Like it's just like it's just fucking scary, dude. Like there were some fucked up people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Fucked
In the world.
people. And
Like
Justin Bieber, Demi Lovato, like all these people that we looked up to were subjected to those people.
yeah.
And it sucks.
It's so scary. The scary people know where to
I
find
got really
you.
dark for a second. I just like I feel
Well,
really
it
bad
had
for Justin
to.
Bieber.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was no way to go around it because some of these like documentaries go to dark places. Some of them don't. One Direction, that one kind of was just like, ooh, we're having fun. Also, yeah, no, I don't know. But also both Never Say Never and This Is Us. It's like you can tell what year it came out because of how
Yeah.
stylized it is and the 3D, like because it was when 3D was like the hype. It's just so funny.
And then I remember like opening weekend purple 3D glasses.
Oh my god. Yeah, the purple 3D glasses.
Remember when we popped out the lenses and we'd wear them to school? Oh,
I remember it all too well. Like I literally have that so vividly in my head.
did you ever watch Never Say Never?
I did not, but I did have 3D glasses that I painted the real 3D thing over with the Sharpie so they looked all black. So
Hmm.
there you go.
Well, I like Never Say Never. Never Say Never is really fun, and I think it's just such a time capsule as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting. I feel like people are going to study this movie, like dead ass, like later.
Maybe.
Like there's going to be a Justin Bieber course.
There has
Like,
to be. There's courses on everything now. There has to be a just or like
yeah.
even like boy band, like fandom, like anything of that. There's so
Oh,
many
there's
ways to go
fandom
with it.
classes for sure.
Oh,
I know
period.
that. Um,
Okay.
oh, man.
Anyways, that's
So speaking of like darkness, you
oh my
want
god.
to talk about Demi Lovato? Sorry.
Yeah, this is more. See, we're just gonna jump over the place by how where the road leads us. But I do want to talk about that one because it was also a YouTube series.
Mhm.
Dancing with the Devil. It premiered at South by Southwest, which is like a big deal. And
Well, she had one before that,
yeah,
Simply Complicated or something like that.
you know all of these like off the
Dude,
top of your head. That's kind
I
of crazy.
am a pop girly.
Yeah, you are.
Like
You are.
I
Period.
love pop girlies, and girlies is like it's non-gendered.
Yeah. Girlies means
Yeah.
including One Direction and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Girlies is
Yes.
everyone on this list.
Everyone.
So Dancing with the Devil, I think might be one of my favorite of these just because of it's not afraid to go to the dark parts, which is what people want to know. And it gives Demi a chance to take control of that. Because when this happened, I remember people would be cruel. People would be so cruel about like what happened to them and like, oh my God, just everything, like the drugs, everything. And so by doing this, like they took their story and they were like, this is what happened. And now you know, which I think is so admirable and brave.
I have like a different opinion on it.
Okay, go ahead.
I think okay, well listen. So the first one, it had that same feeling that you're saying,
Mhm.
but Dancing with the Devil comes out after it,
Mhm.
and it's like, well, Simply Complicated was fake. So that's why I don't have as much trust in Dancing with the
Oh.
Devil. Because like I'm glad that they had it to tell the story because I do think that was like something a lot of people were like interested in.
Yeah,
And I always respect when celebrities talk about their dark places
yeah,
because like it does there's a lot of people that struggle with addiction, and
yeah,
it's like not refreshing, that's a weird word to use in this
yeah,
context, but you know, like it's not like, oh, celebrities are just like us, like genuinely like seeing people like with like what everybody wants, which is not everybody, but like people want to be rich and like have access to everything.
yeah,
But with access to everything comes with excess
yeah.
and also not being checked, you know? And so I just think it's really interesting when stars get into that because a lot of more movies are dealing with that shit than you think, guys. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely, some of them are just really good at keeping it up under wraps because they have good PR people.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's not a secret about that, but I do know like some people that aren't like super into celebrities don't know that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what your level with celebrities are if you're listening to this, but I think that's why I don't trust Dancing with the Devil as much, especially when Demi, after the fact, like they're not sober anymore. Like, you know, and like even in Dancing with the Devil, they talk about how manipulated they are, and they admit full friendly, and like that's awesome that they have the grasp that they do. But I don't think they're over using that to their advantage. And that's hard for me to admit because I love Demi so much. I was a Camp Rock stan. Like I literally, like out of like the three girls, I think I talked about this before. Like I was a Demi person. So it's hard for me to admit that, but I think I say it with love because I do genuinely want them to get better. You know, like I genuinely care about them.
I do remember Demi saying, well, because like in the documentary,
the parasocial relationships are jumping right now. By the way,
it's okay. It was going to happen. But Demi in the documentary says that they're California sober, but they announced recently that they're not even smoking weed anymore. Right?
I don't know. I don't follow them anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. It was just getting a lot.
It was getting a lot. You know, the no sugar, the guilt free. But it's okay. Okay. let's briefly cover the guilt-free cookie thing. Because I'm like, I get people were like, oh, like this is a lot, but when you're like, when you have trauma about something and it just like all of a sudden like comes to you, it can be easy to like overreact and not think about it. And when you have a platform that big, a lot of people are gonna see it.
Yeah.
So like,
I
don't
don't
know.
think the public needed to react back to them the way that they did.
No. Oh no.
Like it was, I think it genuinely was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that they thought they were doing something right by saying something about it.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I do think it was pure intention, but like
It
it
came
just
off
also
so bad.
just is like a check on like, okay, celebrities don't, they also need to take a breather.
Yeah, they
You know.
all need. Oh my god, it's giving.
Everyone goes through that though with the oversharing on the internet.
Oh yeah.
Everyone deals with that.
Yeah.
They're just very relatable as a person, I think.
I
It's
think
like,
so.
okay, this is how I feel about Demi. This is the parasocial relationship I have with Demi right now.
Please
It's
tell
like
us.
that best friend that used to be really close with and you still care about them, but you cannot be their friend anymore, but you like are checking up on them to make sure that they're still okay.
You like still follow them on social media, and you like don't really want to like text
No,
them
you
that much
don't
or
follow
engage.
them, but you're always
Oh, you
checking
don't.
on their account.
Okay, I don't think I have one of those.
Well,
Okay. I guess it could be Demi Lovato for being. I don't know if I still follow them on anything, and they're very talented. They're very talented. We love Demi Lovato.
I want them to have a Miley era where they go back to rock. Because that first album,
I
I
think
still
so.
listen
I
to
think
it
we're getting it.
constantly. Constantly, I'm listening to that shit.
We're 100% gonna get it. They hinted at it a little bit, so I think we're gonna get it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to be BFFs again once they do.
Okay. You might have to refollow.
We'll see.
But yeah, that was Dancing with the Devil. Okay, what can we transition to? Let me try to. No, it's getting rough. Okay, we
You
can.
know what? I'm surprised we don't have a Selena docuseries or something yet.
Gomez or Selena?
Selena Gomez. Because
Oh.
she's very private.
We have the cooking show, but that's about it. That's the closest she lets us in.
Yeah.
But we see her family, we see her friends. She talks a little bit about her dating life. I love the cooking show, by the way. It's so good. It's so
I
good.
love the cooking show.
All right.
I think she'll do it one day.
She will. She has a story to tell, I think.
Oh,
Season 2 of
yeah.
Only Murders is coming out. I saw the trailer during the Oscars, and Cara Delevingne is in it, and also Amy Schumer. Anyways, yeah,
Just gonna drop that info on me.
yeah. The trailer's fun. I love the show. Okay, Homecoming, Beyonce. Okay,
Oh,
the first. So I'm just gonna be very honest. I wasn't in the Beehive or the Bayhive.
Beehive.
Beehive.
Bayhive?
I wasn't in. I don't know. I think it's Bayhive because like Beyonce. So I wasn't in the Bayhive, and then I think I was taking like a feminism pop culture class or something like that, and I had to do. It was like a paper comparing. I have to find it because I told my mom about it, and she was like, "I want to read it." I was like, "Okay." I got an A+ on it. It was like comparing Lady Gaga and Beyonce's, sort of activism through music.
You know what? That's so funny because I was literally gonna compare the documentaries.
Yeah, no, me too. That's why I put them next to each other because I was like, there's a lot. They're very similar artists in the way that like
They're so serious about their music and their craft.
they take their art very seriously, and it's their way or the highway, and they have a specific vision, and they're gonna get it. And I think it's cool. Like it's so cool.
No, I think it's cool because I feel like it's. I mean, you don't see that a lot of like women being very firm
Yeah,
and like standing up for themselves and being like, "No, I know what I'm talking about."
and it's
Like,
yeah. Period.
so
I agree.
yeah, I mean, like I've always been a Beyonce stan. I wouldn't say I'm in the Beehive because I feel like the Beehive is like the ultimate stan. So I wouldn't
Right.
categorize myself as that, as respect to them. But
With peace and
I
love.
definitely like I was obsessed with Sasha Fierce, like the double LP that's like I am
Oh yeah.
Beyonce,
Oh, yeah.
I am Sasha Fierce. Like I bumped that shit when it
Yeah.
came out. Like I had that CD in my mom's car. And like Love on Top like is one of her favorite songs ever to
She makes
exist
such good music.
ever.
Such good
And
music.
you know what? I went to Coachella the year that this happened.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Period.
And it truly was a spectacle. I was quite far, but I still was like, I didn't want to leave because like usually I leave early because like
Yeah.
after the headliner like is done, like it is a fucking shit show to get
So
back.
scary. That is so scary.
And I didn't want to leave. Like it was so mesmerizing. You could tell like even before, because the documentary came out after, obviously,
Yeah.
and you could tell like there was just so much, like she took that shit so seriously, and it's the best Coachella headliner performance ever, straight
There's
up.
no way anyone could top it, and I think that's
No.
like the standard now for like the headliners. They're like, we have to talk, and there's just no way.
Which
they're
is
going
why I'm
to.
like, Harry Styles,
What is he gonna do? Prance
what is he
around?
gonna do? What is he
I love
gonna
you, Harry, but
do?
like, what are you gonna do?
But I don't think Harry's trying to get on Beyonce level.
No, and also he's
Imagine
like
Harry
releasing a new album,
Styles
so
with backup dancers.
we're
I
not
don't
getting
like
that.
that envisioned.
No, I don't like it either. It's just not the.
Anyways, but I appreciate Beyonce as a pop girly because I don't think a lot of pop like they like her and Gaga both do full choreo.
Oh
Beyonce
my
does like
god.
full out
Yeah.
choreo, full out, like full
When
on doing the same exact fucking movements as the
and
dancers.
hard moves when okay in the Lady Gaga one right after so like they show how she has like a couple different injuries that look so extremely painful, and there's the part right before the Super Bowl performance where they're like something hurts, so they like stretched her out and then she gets right back
She has a
and then
herniated disc.
yeah, and then she starts doing that like squat thing on the floor. I was like, are you kidding me? Because wow. I
Yeah.
like especially after they describe it and then she's like doing these like squats and like jumping squats like to the floor. I was like, oh my god.
And she's crying throughout half of the documentary
yeah.
about
Oh,
how
yeah.
much pain she's in.
No, but
Physically
also,
and mentally.
yeah, it seems like Lady Gaga is giving tortured artist. Like she's like her art like hurts her, which is like fun.
Okay.
I
Back
also
to
cried every time
Beyonce.
Lady Gaga. Oh right. Sorry.
But okay, wasn't it scary when she was talking about her diet? I don't know if that's because I have like a weird relationship with food.
No, I also I get weird whenever any of the celebrities talk about their diet because I'm like I don't know, like when in the Demi Lovato one when they were saying like how they used to have
The
like
watermelon
instead of
cake.
that was so shocking to me. Like that's really scary. That scares me to an extent that I cannot even explain. Because I also have a complicated relationship with food. So anytime any of the celebrities talk about their diet, I'm like, I don't want to hear this because this is.
I'm like
scare
skip.
me. Yeah. No, literally, I'm like, I don't even want to know. Like I saw
Yeah.
Channing Tatum talking on Ellen about like the food he had to eat to prepare for like Magic Mike and all these stuff, and he's like, that's like not a healthy diet. That's like not a sustainable way to live. And I was like, so why are we
And
all
it's
trying
like,
to
why are
look
we
like that?
doing that then?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that then?
Like, like
If it's not healthy, why are we doing it? So did you watch it recently?
Not recently, but I watched it when I had to write the paper, and I was just in awe. I was like, Beyonce's so cool. Wait, we're talking about the Beyonce one, right? Homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
was there is this the one where she's talking about Lemonade or no? Like the whole album, or was that a different one?
I think that's different. She had
I think
a
I
whole
saw the
lemonade
Lemonade
thing.
one, which was also super
Yeah.
cool. Was that a documentary? What was
Yeah.
that one?
Okay, it was like a documentary, but also music videos. It was very artistic, and like I think.
Yeah, you're
Well, I
right.
mean, Beyonce is one of the greatest entertainers ever, if not
Period.
the,
Yeah.
because she cares so much about what she puts out into the world, and like she does not do anything without intention and like
Yeah.
without like excellence at the top priority.
Yeah, down to the
And
wardrobe,
like
down to the movements, down to the camera movements. Like it's so impressive.
yeah, and she carries herself so well in the public eye for being like literally like the famous lady ever on the planet. Like I don't know, like I think she'd be so interesting to like, because she doesn't let us in. Like what Adele says, she's like, you don't let us in, very often, but we appreciate you, we love you, we admire you, like literally. And so like I think that's why people are so like enamored when she does open up, because like what is going on in
It's
her
also
day-to-day?
yeah, it's so
Lives.
interesting. She does. It's so interesting to me when like people don't let us in, because me as an oversharer, if something bad happens to me, it'll be on my Instagram story within minutes.
Virgo
And like
women. She's a Virgo. It makes so much
yeah, it's just like I don't know. As an oversharer, I'm just like I wish I could be like that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to tell everyone everything, and I'm going to make it everyone's problem.
Yeah. Anyways, so moral of the story is Beyonce literally doesn't do anything wrong ever, and like
Yeah. Period.
we have no choice but stand. Like I
No,
truly with my whole fucking fiber being, I mean this. Like I don't understand how you cannot like her or respect her at all.
that is the
You
only
know she
time
has
that I
haters.
agree with
Everyone
that.
has
Yeah.
haters. But like why?
But why? There's no reason. There's no reason.
Yeah. It's because they're scared of powerful men. That's the reason.
Period. Speaking of powerful women, let's keep talking about the Lady Gaga one. So it's what is it? 5'2"?
Yeah.
That's
Me.
such a funny name.
I'm 5 foot
Period.
2.
Um,
The song that when she goes to
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. The
I was
wedding.
like, I love that.
I love
She's
it
so
too.
Italian. She's so Italian.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
knew that, but like seeing her with her family, it just like really
Shit, right?
yeah.
Okay, so just for everyone who hasn't seen it, I honestly do recommend this one. It's on Netflix. And it's kind of like it's leading up to the release of her album Joanne and the Super Bowl performance. Um and first of all, the opening shot is just her dangling. And I think it's so funny. And I'm just like, I think it like you can tell how involved she was in this and how, and it's with all of these, like, you know, that like the celebrities themselves are going to get final edit, and so like obviously we're going to see what makes them look good, but I feel like Lady Gaga was also like, that part of me like being a little upset, leave it in, because like
She
it's,
accepts both the good parts of herself and the bad parts of herself.
yeah,
And that's really refreshing to see from a
yeah,
celebrity.
I thought it was so cool. I thought it
Because
was
she
so
knows
good.
that the bad parts of herself like do shape her into her like the person she is, and
Yeah,
she can respect it to a certain degree. She like always she's like, but she keeps it in.
what is she
She
signed
says that
wise?
multiple times throughout the documentary. Not like this is like versions of that. Like you know
Oh, Lady Gaga is an Aries. Interesting. I don't know anything about astrology, so that means nothing to me, but I just wanted to Google
that
it.
makes a
Uh,
lot of sense.
um I love how much she cries, because me too. Like, I me multiple times throughout that movie.
Let me look up her chart. She has to have.
Okay,
Hold on.
I'll
Keep
discuss my thoughts while
talking.
you do that. So I didn't know anything about the album Joanne. I don't think I listened to it ever, but I know the album cover, and I know it exists. Um, and so when she was explained, like when she explained the story of Joanne, and like how it was her dad's sister that got lupus and like passed away at 19, and she was an artist, and like they wanted to chop off her hands because they didn't understand how lupus worked, and they're like, we think it's spreading from the hand, so we have to cut them off. And her mom made the choice that like, I'm gonna let her keep her hands and just like die being able to still do what she loves,
Hmm.
as opposed to die not being able to create art. And I was like, I cannot even imagine making a decision that like intense. And then Lady Gaga playing the song for her, me crying during watching that. She played the song for the grandma, and the dad was like crying in the back. He had to leave the room. I don't know. I think you could just tell Lady Gaga is someone who really, really cares. And we know this, and like sometimes people make fun of it, especially with like House of Gucci, where she was like, I wrote a book about her. And we were like, okay. But you could tell she's someone who really cares about what she does and like her art. And I think that's why she's so successful. Because there was no, it seemed like she was like, I'm gonna do this one way or another. There was no plan B. This is what we're doing this, which is I
No,
think so cool.
literally. And I think relationship with Mark Ronson is really cool. Like seeing that because Mark Ronson
Yeah.
was really close with Amy Winehouse, and like just seeing him work with so many like artists that I really enjoy. Like
Yeah.
I just love seeing the producers talk about it, and like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he's so cool. And also, have you seen his Architectural Digest house? His house is fucking cool.
No, but I love watching those. I love watching
He's
those.
really I love him.
Well, something that about these
He doesn't
documentaries, I
age,
think,
by the way. He
no, he looks
literally
the
looks the
same
same.
always. Well, something that I think is interesting about these documentaries is that we get to see the producers. So, like with the Taylor Swift one, we get to see Jack Antonoff. With this one, we get to see Mark Ronson. Who else? There was a couple other ones. I think there. The Olivia Rodrigo one. I don't remember that guy's name.
Dan.
But we get to see the producers who do a lot of the like. It's like a don't know what the word is. It's a collaboration
Collaboration.
between the artist and the producer, and I feel like a lot of people did not see that up to this point. And I think that's very cool that they're getting recognition and getting more jobs because of it, especially with like
Yeah.
Phineas. Like Phineas is like pretty like a famous producer,
Oh yeah.
which is so cool. He has an Oscar
Definitely.
as of today and a
Yeah.
Grammy. Period. Well deserved. But
They
yeah,
need to write a musical next so they can get an
I was
Eva.
literally thinking that. I was like, I think they could write a musical. And then
Maybe
Emmy,
like when Billy's a little older, she has time.
yeah. Oh yeah, they don't need to do it all like this
Yeah.
fast. Because like also like they could do like a celebrity guest thing on TV and get an Emmy through that.
Yeah.
Like they're getting it. There's no way they're
Do
not.
they not have an Emmy yet?
I don't think so. I thought they were gonna get nominated for documentary for the Apple one, the one they did.
Mm.
Oh, should we
Do
talk? Do you have anything else?
celebrity
Sorry, go ahead.
documentaries get nominated for that really often? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it got nominated for something that was not an Oscar, but it got nominated for something because it was a really good documentary.
Um, I
Do
don't
you
know.
have anything else? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I I loved Lady Gaga before this. Again, like it was kind of like Beyonce. Like I really enjoy her music.
Yeah,
Like You and I is another one of my favorite songs ever
that's such
to
a good
exist.
song. Yeah,
Such a good song. Such a good song. Like it makes me emotional. That's how much I love it. And it's not a deep song. It's just like her power through the song
Yeah.
is just like and I love her little characters that I wish she talked about more of her eras. Because I did like the
Yeah, it's so
snapshot, but I
interesting.
want another one where she like literally walks us through like where she was through each era because each era
Yeah.
is so interesting. And something else in the documentary that I thought was kept on talking about how she like was leaving the meat dress, she was leaving the
Yeah,
crazy shit.
yeah.
And then the album after Joanne is Chromatica,
Yeah.
which is kind of like going back to what she was before. So
But
I want to know what happened
yeah,
that she went back to the pop girly stuff, which like I mean Chromatica is great.
yeah.
But like I just
Well,
want to know what happened because she felt like she was so beyond it.
yeah. But even like okay, so with Joanne,
She
she's
has
like, I just want.
range, by the
She
way.
does have range. She does have range.
Jazz.
Yes. Jazz, hyper pop, country. Joanne's a little country.
Yeah.
Pop. She could probably do rock. I'm sure she's done a couple songs that are kind of
She's
rock.
done rock. That's like I would say You and I is a rock song.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, we're little monsters. In conclusion, we are little monsters.
Oh my god, I remember like like when you would go to Hot Topic with your parents because you couldn't go to them all alone yet.
Yeah.
And like they used to have like those chunky ass like rubber
Yeah.
bands and like
Yeah.
and I wanted a Lady Gaga one so fucking bad. Like I literally was like begging my mom. I wanted it so bad.
What did
And I
it
guess
say?
like
Little Monster?
it says Lady Gaga.
The name of the album, Art Pop or something? Or like
No, it was way before that. This
I
was
don't
like
know,
when she
Fame
just had like
Monster?
paparazzi and
Oh,
just
period.
dance out. Like this is like first album. God, I guess it did say Little Monster. I don't know. I don't think it said Little Monster. And anyways, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. But Lady Gaga. So like Gaga in Tagalog is like, and I don't know if it's a bad word, but it's not a good word.
Okay.
I don't remember what it is now that I'm like saying this out loud, but it's like Gaga. It's like stupid, I think, or something like derogatory. Not derogatory, but like not good. Not good.
Yeah.
So my family, because I remember specifically my Asian grandparents were with us, and they were like, "Why would you want that?" But
That's
I convinced my mom to get it because I was like, I just really love Lady Gaga, which I did. I really did love
Period.
Lady Gaga.
She's so
Yeah.
cool. I love her.
Dude, why was I a stan of everybody?
I don't know. That's
Literally.
what we're learning here because I know you're a fan of these other people too.
I feel like I've lived so many lives.
You literally have. No, you. I think you just enjoy art and like being fans of things is fun.
Yeah. That's
I
my
think we all
entire
understand that.
personality. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people
No.
are like, okay, it's not my entire
Yeah.
personality, but it's definitely what is the formative parts of my personality.
Okay. That's
Like,
fair.
it makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like everything I do, you could track back to being a fangirl.
Okay. Yeah. Probably. But that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, especially our age.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. So this is the last. I feel like this kind of fits in a little bit only because of the Glee episode.
Say
But
last?
no. That fits into what like Lady Gaga.
Oh,
No, we still have
okay.
a couple more. Katy Perry, Part of Me. This was the first one
I
I
was about
ever
to say-
watched.
I thought you were gonna go to Billie Eilish, and I was like,
Oh,
"Are
no,
we
no,
not
no.
gonna talk about Katy Perry?"
No, I was gonna say, are you a Katy or a Gaga? Like in that Glee episode.
Oh, that's a deep cut. I think
The episode or the Katy Perry Part of Me?
the episode.
Yeah.
Was it
Okay.
called
Katy.
Part of Me?
Yeah, it's called Part of Me.
Oh.
I genuinely think this is a great move, like just documentary. and I haven't seen it in a while, so I also could be just remembering how people remember the One Direction movie. I might be remembering it like that because I loved Katy Perry. Um,
Same.
but I feel like it was genuine. Okay, the scene of after Russell Brand breaks up with her, and she is sobbing in like the colorful outfit, and she has to go on in like 30 minutes, and she like her life is like falling apart right now, and she has to go perform an entire like 2 or whatever hour and a half performance where she has to like pretend to be happy, and that I feel like this is like so burned into my mind. The scene of her, she's like wearing like the blue wig and like the spinning bra, and she's like trying to hold up the microphone and like trying to get the strength to hold up the microphone so that they can lift her up on the stage. And then she like does it and puts on a fake smile and they lift her up. I think that's how it ends actually. I was just in awe of that. I was like,
I
wow.
feel like that's a big core memory. The breaking up with Russell Brand scene is a core
Yeah.
memory for a lot of us.
I was just
I felt so they like I don't know if it was the way it was edited or something, but like I feel like everybody felt that shit. Like that
yeah.
sucks, dude. Like
Yeah.
fuck.
It's just I don't
Damn.
know. And
I
also
just
that album was so good. That like era of Katy Perry was top tier.
isn't it kind of sad to see how Katy Perry's career went after though?
Um yes and no, because okay, here's unpopular opinion. I don't think Katy Perry stopped making good music. I think the perception of her, like I think she was struggling to step away from what she was earlier. Like I think she was trying to do like airs or whatever, but I don't think people really necessarily liked the new direction she was going in. But her, like if you listen to the albums that like after like Teenage Dream and like was it
No, I
was
agree
it
with you.
Prism? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still really good songs on those albums, but I think it was just like it didn't feel like it was Katy Perry anymore. But I do think she's gonna go back to it. It seems like it. Especially with the Vegas show, that is I feel like that is Katy Perry.
Oh yeah. It's like the Katy Perry we know and love.
Yeah.
And I think
So I
especially because her
hope.
baby is like a little bit older, like maybe she'll like have her come back.
I hope so.
I think we're
She,
ready.
I think she makes great music. I think she's a great writer.
Yeah.
Literally, Teenage Dream is one of the best albums ever, and
Oh,
I will
yeah.
say that on record.
That's one of the best pop girly albums in
Yeah.
eternity.
Also, did you know that album cover is painted? Did not know. Thought it
Yeah.
was a picture. Thought it was a picture.
The One That Got Away, another one of my favorite songs of all time.
Bob's. Oh my god, that song. I feel like I know. Oh, California Girls was the first music video I ever saw, and also I feel like all of those like music videos are so ingrained in my mind. Like Firework. I think that was the first time I saw like a gay kiss ever, and I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, where they like kiss behind a dumpster, which like I don't know,
Yeah. Oh,
but do you
really
remember
kiss
that
behind the
video?
dumpster.
They
I don't
literally,
remember that part of it. I just remembered her like literally blowing up with fireworks.
yeah, and it's a baby or firework. I love Katy Perry.
And she was like in like a wispy gown and she was like on a
Yeah.
balcony and she was like that. I
I'm
remember
not
all
even
that.
kidding. After we finish this and after I edit this,
The
I'm gonna watch so many
chokehold that
music videos.
the chokehold that California Girls had on everybody.
I think it still does. I would say.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways, who's next?
Okay, we're just gonna go on until we can find another way to transition. Okay, I guess I could do another pop girly. Miss Americana, Taylor Swift. Did you watch this one? It's on Netflix. Okay, interesting. Here's
Really?
my perspective from as a. I will say I'm a Swiftie, and I don't think anyone doesn't know at this point because I make it very annoyingly clear.
Yeah. I used to be a Swiftie and like I'm not a Swiftie. I would say I enjoy her music.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I'm done being a hater.
You're reclaiming misogyny.
I wouldn't say that.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So Miss Americana is like after Taylor Swift. And it's like okay. This is the thing with this documentary. I love Taylor Swift, but like it's very much giving first world problems the entire time. So like it starts off with her like it's like she didn't get nominated.
Hold on.
Yeah, go
Before you
ahead.
go, it's like when privileged people finally realize they have privilege. That's what this gives me.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Okay.
God
So
bless her.
no. It's like I know she's trying her best, but like that, like the look which they're what was it? You need to calm down, like the Target commercial for gay
Yeah.
people. I was like, go off, Taylor. Like you're trying your best. I love you, but
The singles that they put out for Lover did not do the
no,
justice
they
for the
didn't.
album.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Because that album was good. Anyways, okay, so it's like right after Reputation like didn't get nominated for a Grammy, and she was like heartbroken, and that's how it starts. She's like so sad, and she's like, I just have to do better. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know. It was just like, okay, obviously, I think everyone now likes Reputation, but it's
It's
like
just a jarring turn, I think.
throughout the movie, whatever, she's writing this new album again. One of the my favorite things about all of these is that we get to see this songwriting process. So inspiring. I just think it's so cool, especially the Taylor Swift one, the Olivia Rodrigo one, the Lady Gaga one. Just watching how their brain works, and like watching how they
Dude,
like
yeah.
in the Olivia Rodrigo one when they're like trying to come up with another song, and then they start playing the opening notes of Brutal, and like we know what it is because we know and love
Yeah.
that song, but they don't know yet. And she's like, "What was that? That was cool." I was like, "This is so interesting. I love
I
art."
wish I wish I knew that joy. That's the thing. I was watching Lady Gaga. I was like, I
Yeah,
wish I was a songwriter. So like for like if I could switch bodies, I would switch bodies with one of these pop girlies so I could just understand
period.
what it's like. Because I think it's so fucking interesting. Like to have that skill
Yeah,
to like songwrite. Wow.
and it's like it's yeah, period. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh, about Taylor Swift. But yeah, and then like another like theme of that documentary is her like struggling. It's like laughable how it's her struggling to decide on whether or not she should make a political stance.
This was one of my biggest issues with her as a
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
And like I literally like for one of my classes I talked about it. Like I was talking about pop girlies, I think, or like I was talking about parasocial relationships, and I
yeah,
started talking about Swifties because I was like, they have the craziest parasocial relationships, and I was like, I think for a lot of people, it just felt off, like the like when
yeah.
she did take a political stance. I don't know. It's just like weird timing.
Well, like here, like in the okay, so the way it plays out in the documentary, it's like her dad and her. I think it's like a manager or something. I don't know who that guy was, but they're like, you can't do this because we saw what it did to the Dixie Chicks. Like they made a political stance and it like
Yeah,
destroyed them.
I've
And so,
seen this scene.
yeah, 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 yeah. This is like I feel like I've seen it on social media and like TikTok and stuff. But then she was like, I have to, and it's like I do think it's admirable to have a platform like this and like be like, oh, this I'm gonna stand against this, and then especially I feel like she has done the work, especially with like the
Mm-hmm.
activism towards the LGBTQ plus community and that kind of stuff. But to
Yeah.
put it in a documentary and like it felt a little bit like self-congratulatory in a way.
I feel like this was before people knew the definition performative activism,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Before,
know?
yeah,
And I don't think she did this like with ill intent. I genuinely think like she meant this in a positive way.
yeah,
But that's the thing with a lot of white people is like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, and like it's not to dig on her at all. Like it
No,
is hard, I guess, to just say out loud any belief you have because you don't know how it's going to be received. And I mean, the Dixie Chicks point is fucking fair because
yeah,
they're extremely talented and they got written off for taking a political stance. But
yeah,
I think the people that she like we're talking about in that situation, like, I mean, they're older, so they're gonna have differing opinions, I
yeah.
guess. You know, it's like having conversations with your grandparents about politics. Like, it's not
Yeah.
gonna go great. It's just
And
not.
it's
And
also like,
I feel like a lot of us have been there and
yeah,
to talk to
I agree.
people
And I
about
also
that.
think it's like another thing that she was kind of so a lot, I feel like with a lot of these the pop girlies as we call them, a lot of their fan base is like and not to generalize, but I feel like it's just like and just an observation is a lot of women and then like LGBTQ plus men and also LGBTQ plus women, but it's like a lot of the queer community. And so it's interesting to see at what point each of these celebrities like kind of takes them in. Cause like Lady Gaga has always been like Born This Way, the lyrics of that when it came out in like that's like groundbreaking. And to like who else? Like also Katy
Like
Perry, I
she
guess
said it
is
with her whole chest without
she
like
did whole
like
chest definition enunciated.
before America had like a wake up call,
Yeah.
about injustice
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah.
And then like
To be fair,
she
like Taylor Swift is younger
Oh,
than
yeah, yeah, yeah. And also she was a different she started with a different music genre. It was it's a different situation.
yeah.
But I do think that was, I don't know, that documentary kind of was like, I still love I she's my favorite artist. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
pretend. But I feel like another thing with, because I guess fandom is like a theme of like all of these. And I think something that's extremely important is to like understand that, and I'm sorry guys, but these people are not your friends. They're not actually. And I think we all need to come to that. Like we can I
Yeah.
feel yeah, we can feel extremely connected to them, and you can have an extreme like relationship with them that they do not have towards you.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay, but just remember that that's the way it is, because
Like
it
the
can
way I
get
just talked about
dangerous.
all these people that like I'm like I have like fully formed like ideas and like how I feel about them, but like
But
I know like I don't know the whole story as
yeah,
well. And
yeah,
like
you're aware of it.
if I like for some reason tomorrow Taylor Swift contacted me and was like, "You want to get lunch?" I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I want to get lunch. I want to know what the hell you're actually about." Like, I'm just so curious to like what these people actually are like,
Yeah, of course,
you know.
of course. And I don't know.
But
So
that doesn't
that's
mean I'm
why,
not gonna have opinions on them as like the way they portray themselves
yeah,
to people now.
I think it's dangerous to be a fan of someone and not like question their actions and be like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a
Um,
Phantom right now, and I think
yeah,
Lady Gaga is actually a really good like representation of that because Joanne was like the realist version of Stephanie that we got, you
but
know?
it's really interesting because even that, and they make a point of it in the documentary. When she's doing press for it, she's wearing the exact same outfit, so she's still a character. Like she's still
Yeah.
making herself into a character for this album. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and they make a point of it. They clip like, "Oh, you're wearing the same outfit," and it's like she wants us to know that she's wearing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Lady Gaga is so interesting. I don't know how we got back to this, but
Oh my god, I just think she's so fascinating.
me too. Me too. I
Yeah.
want more documentaries about her because
Yeah.
I love seeing how
I could
she.
have a
Oh,
24-hour feed on her and I'd be okay with it.
me too. Wait, also I forgot to mention the So I'd never seen those like behind the scenes clips of her filming American Horror Story, and that character is only on screen for maybe like not a long time. It's a very small part, but just like she
I was
cared
gonna
about
ask
this
you about
character a
that and I
lot.
forgot.
Yeah, it was in Roanoke, which by the way I love this season. So I'm sorry, everyone hates it. This is probably the most hated season, and it's one of my favorites. Just because of the way it's structured. But um, yeah, she wasn't in it a lot because this was right after Hotel, so I think she still wanted to do another part in it. Um, and it was so like she knew the background for the character, she knew and it was just so interesting. I was like, period. She did her homework, even though that none of that is said in the show. But she was
Oh my
like,
god. Yeah, we didn't talk about a lot with Lady Gaga. And then also how it starts. Like this is pre like she went through a Gaga renaissance, I feel like. I feel like she
yeah,
kinda like it like she was like literally just having relationships with her fans and she like
yeah,
nobody like in the public really like, knew what she was doing. It was just like really for her fans.
yeah.
But because of A Star Is Born,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
like she gained
The
like a whole new
balloons.
audience. Like
Yeah,
this is like yeah, like American Horror Story is a very niche audience of people, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I feel like most of them are already. I would probably say like a good chunk of American Horror Story fans are Lady Gaga fans already. So
Probably.
I wouldn't doubt it. And so it's crazy that they open up this documentary with her being like, "Yeah, Bradley Cooper wants me to be in this
Oh
movie. That's why
yeah.
there's a bunch of star balloons here, and it's A Star Is Born." And I was like, "Girl, that's
It's so yeah.
crazy."
It's so interesting watching these so far from when they were made. Because we
Yeah,
know she got the
it's
Oscar
so
for it, and
interesting.
so it's like, wait, she did, right? She won the Oscar. Okay, she
I'm not
did.
100% on that, but it
Guys,
feels
don't
right.
fact check us. I don't know. I don't want to Google it right now.
Yeah, I
But
don't want to check.
um, anyways, yeah. So that was that was Lady Gaga, Katy Perry,
You were just
Taylor
talking about
Swift.
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because like
Did they talk about the Katy Perry beef at all in that one?
no, or no, but I think they talked about the Kanye West one a little bit,
Oh.
because that's like the big one, you know.
Yeah.
That's like the one that's been going on for a while.
Yeah. Like her and Katie are fine now, I think.
Yeah. They figured it out. They were in a music video together. I think they're good
Okay.
to go. They sent each other flowers. Um, okay. I let's do The World's a Little Blurry, Billie Eilish. Have you seen this one?
No.
Okay. I I really, really enjoyed this one. So this one's on Apple TV. This was like one of the first like Apple TV like documentaries, I think, because now they have a bunch. But I remember this. I was like, oh, Apple TV made it. That's interesting.
Yeah, this was like when Apple TV was first launching.
Yeah, like with
'Cause I remember they were pushing it to like get people to subscribe to
yeah,
Apple.
like the morning show and that kind of stuff. And it worked because I did the free trial. I was like, I'm gonna watch the Billie Eilish documentary. Um, so this is kind of like again, it's how they kind of like made the first album and like kind of got famous, and then it leads up to I think it was also the Coachella performance. What it's kind of leading up to, but I thought this was so interesting because it puts a lot of emphasis on her family and the relationship with the boyfriend she had at the time. And so this was before Happier Than Ever came out, like right before. Like I think a couple months away from coming out. And so I remember watching it and I was like, I can't believe they put in the stuff about her boyfriend because it's like it does not paint him in a good light at all. It shows him as manipulative, like he's using her, like he's way older than her. He's like mentally abusive. It's like I mean obviously they already filmed it. He probably already signed whatever. So they were gonna use it. But also she never says anything. They're just like, this is the footage. You come to your own conclusions. And I was like, period. And so it's to me this documentary is very much a prequel to the album Happier Than Ever because it's like all the context you need for that album and like what happened to her, the the place she was in with that relationship that was very toxic, and like being that young and getting that famous in that short amount of time, and like I don't know. She's also like one of those like I'm emo. She's one of those. Like if you
Her
they show her
Vanity
journal.
Fair interview is like the yearly highlight.
Oh, the one they do every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so weird,
She's
but
really been
I
doing
really like
that
her.
for so long.
Yeah. That's all that I have to say about that one because I don't know. I think it's really good, and I think seeing her and Phineas's relationship is super interesting because they're like siblings. And the relationship they have, like when their parents were talking about her, and like how when she got her first car, and they were like, I don't know. I always love seeing the parents of these celebrities talk. Like in the One Direction one, then they were interviewing all the parents, and they were like, he left one day for X Factor and didn't come back, and I was like, that is
That's
literally
sad.
heartbreaking. That's the
Yeah.
most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard. And like all of them said that. Like all of them were almost brought to tears every time they got interviewed. Or like the ones of the moms like in the store trying to buy the like
Because it's fucking
cutouts.
scary.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, that was
Because they were really young when they
Lover.
were on X Factor.
They look like babies. Like they look so tiny.
They were babies.
Yeah,
They straight up were babies.
that's crazy. But speaking of siblings, Happiness Begins, the Jonas Brothers. You were a Jonas Brothers stan, were you not?
Oh yeah, that was my like first obsession ever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Naked Brothers band was no, it was the same time. Naked
I
Brothers
think
band
it's
and
very
Jonas
yeah.
Brothers. Yeah.
They kind of coincide a little bit. I really enjoyed this documentary because I love the Jonas Brothers,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
didn't know.
I think okay. So Happiness Begins, Chasing Happiness. No, they have
Chasing
two.
Happiness.
They have two out already, right?
Oh, they have like 3. It's
Or
like
is it their
Happiness
fucking
Continues.
album? I can't
Happiness
keep-
Begins in the album. Chasing Happiness is the documentary. Hold on. Chasing Happiness. Yeah, that's the name of the documentary.
Okay, yeah, Chasing Happiness. So this is like one of the first. I think this is the first mark of their now comeback.
Yeah. Did you think that we were ever going to get this?
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
not.
Listen.
Okay.
So I think they just because it's like it's family. It's not like One
That's
Direction. One Direction, they're literally strangers.
But they
Family-
could have like sort of solved their issues, but they didn't have to get the band back together. You know?
The siblings.
Yeah. Like they could have been like,
But
let's heal our relationships.
They did it because they all knew, like, I don't know, like it's just like they all had like their solo endeavors, but it wasn't the same magic as when they were like together as brothers. Like DNC, we all know I love it. go listen to the fucking Batman episode. I talk all about that fucking song that they have for the Lego Batman soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like, I was a fucking stan. And like, I also like Nick Jonas' solo stuff, but I just don't think they got as popular as they thought they were going to solo. And it's like, and I think once they started like figured out their like familial beef, like they were like, well, why not? Like, we love, like they genuinely do, like, to a certain extent, like, love making music together.
It seems like it.
So once the like awkward tension kind of went away, because they were on hiatus for a long
like 10
time.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a lot of growth. Like, think about like you, what is it? Like when I'm 13, that's a whole different person. I can only imagine when I'm like in 10 years from now. Like, so a lot changes, and I feel like it's like kind of like, why not? Like, we can have a second wind, and it's like we can do it like better and like end on a happy note rather than like keep this sad ending that they had like back in the.
That's true.
Oh God, I love them.
I will say though, here I am watching this little documentary, and Kevin is like not the most popular one. We all know that. And there's a part where Kevin's talking about his childhood, and he's like, yeah, like, oh, like we didn't have that much money, so like I dressed kind of badly, and they would call me like slurs. And then he fully says the F slur with his whole chest, and I was like, Kevin,
what year did this come out?
2020.
No way, it came out in 2020.
Yes, 2020. I promise you, 2020. And I was like, I know you didn't just say that with your full chest, Kevin. 2019. Okay, but still,
the math is not mathing.
2019. Like,
no, I'm not excusing that he said the F word. I was just like wondering when.
No, yeah.
But also, like, isn't.
Also, this movie was rated R.
Also, wasn't like some of the beef they talked about was because of Kevin's different views than them? Have they've talked about that?
Oh, I don't know. Well, they talked about how like they performed once without Kevin, and he was like, "That's my last straw." It's just so funny to me.
Imagine like, Kevin Jonas mad.
Not intimidating. Does not scare me.
They were my first concert back from the pandemic, and it was really a full circle moment for me.
Oh, me.
I never saw them because I didn't know what concerts were. Dead ass.
But right. Wait, you watched them recently, like with the one with Vita? Is that one you watched?
Yeah.
Okay, period. I saw them when they did the Happiness. This was like one of my first concerts, like the reboot, the Jonas Brothers reboot. Because my first concert was Charlie Puth, and then my second was Jonas Brothers in 2019.
Did we go to the same concert?
No. This was in 2019. Did you go to that one?
Dude, I don't listen to their new music, so I don't. No, it was this last year.
It was
it was last year.
I didn't go to this one. I went to the one they did right when the album was about like just came out, and like this documentary just came out.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Did nothing.
I just went so I could hear the old songs.
It's so fun. Their show is really fun.
Their show is so fun, and also Joe Jonas is so fucking hot, dude. Because so at the concert that we went to, and like this whole thing, like the way he performs, and like I noticed this like watching back like the concert movie, not even like the documentary, like the concert 3D movie, like he does have like mannerisms similar to Freddie Mercury. So basically, like in this last tour, like he had like this tank top on, and like his arm, delicious. I don't know. It really woo. And like he also like outsang Nick on Jealous, and I just
what? Yeah, they sing. I loved when they sang.
And he's funny.
Cake by the Ocean, and
when he talked about in the documentary how he was like, I didn't even want to be a musician. I wanted to be a comedian. Do you remember him saying that?
Yeah, I do remember him saying that, and also Nick wanting to be like a Tony, like on Broadway. Did not know that. I didn't even know he was on Broadway.
Yeah, he was on Broadway.
Good for him.
Multiple times, I believe.
Good for him.
I want Nick Jonas. I want to see Nick Jonas get a Tony in my lifetime. I think that would just be really fun for me and nobody else.
Not for Nick, just for you.
It
Um,
could happen.
it could. All right. I want to do the Charlie XCX one before we get to driving home to you because that's like the reason we kind of did this one. Um, but so I watched I was trying to find one more to watch because I watched the majority of these yesterday because they're like an hour 20. Like you can knock them out while you're doing laundry. So I was like watching them and I was having so much fun. And then I saw on HBO Max they had one. It was called Charlie XCX Alone Together. And I
It's on
saw
Hulu.
yeah, oh Hulu.
Yeah.
And I saw that. Oh yeah, you're right because it had ads. Um, it was also at South by Southwest, but like there was like a I don't know. I just didn't get tickets to that one because everyone wanted to go to that one, and I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna go to this one. And I also don't really know that much about Charlie XCX. But then was listening to her new album and I was like, oh, period.
Oh my
I like
god,
her.
her new album is good. The album before that was fucking great. Like Charlie XCX is so good.
She's so good. And so I was like, let me watch this. I had no idea what it's about, but basically, this one's the most I other than the Olivia Rodrigo one, it's the most recent one because it's about the album she made in quarantine, and it was just so interesting because she made her fans a part of the documentary, and I also think this one showed fandom that like in a way that was healthy, like the way where it's like these people made genuine connections with each other, and yeah, they like I almost said Charlie Puth. Oh my god, guys, it's so late. It's only 10:30, but I feel so frazzled. Just how they have this common ground, and that's how they make friends because of it, and like I don't know, I just thought it was a really interesting way to portray it,
Yeah,
and
that's
also
true.
especially
I made
like,
so many friends through fandoms. Like people
yeah,
I still
so
follow
many
to
people
this
have.
day and talk to. Like there's this girl that she comes to Lucky Stars too, and like we met each other through like fandom. It's so
Period.
crazy.
I think it's cool. I think
Yeah.
that's like the cool part about it. Not the scary parts where we're all
Hmm.
yelling at each other on Twitter. I think it's the parts where it's like I met this friend because we both went to the same One Direction concert like 20 years ago. Or 20, whatever. You get what I'm saying. And so I don't know. The Charlie X6 one was cool because it was like also during quarantine. And so just I hadn't really seen a documentary that took place during this time yet, and it was like so fresh. And so I was like, oh, I forgot that like I don't know. It was just super interesting. And also the songwriting process was also really interesting in this one and how they had to do
Yeah,
it like
especially
so
because like
creative.
hyper pop, like her music is like a different type of construction because it's hyper
Yeah.
pop.
It's her music is so interesting. So interesting. I'm like, okay,
Vroom vroom,
go on,
bitch.
Shirley.
God damn, that's a good song.
Period. But yeah, I just enjoyed that one a lot. I think it's a fun little time capsule because it's like during quarantine. It's this specific album. You I don't know. It's just so cool.
I think Charlie XCX will get more popular
I think so. I think
because she
so.
deserves it.
I want to go to her show here next week, but the tickets are kind of expensive right now, and I'm like, okay, let me wait till like the day before and see if they go down because I
You
know
should
they were
wait till the
$34.
day of.
Anyways, okay, the last one we have is Olivia Rodrigo Home to You, and I guess kind of that the ones that go along with this, I feel like Disney Plus is doing like artist little music specials because we also got Billie Eilish Happier Than Ever, and then the Long Pond sessions with Taylor Swift. I think was it those three? I feel like there was another one
Hmm.
maybe. Um, how do you feel about these like because I feel like a lot of these are like documentaries about the songwriting process, but this is more of a concert movie or like a live performance movie because it was less documentary and more this is an explanation of my album and like does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
How
she
did you like
hasn't
the
had
format of
much
it?
time to like do anything else other
That's
than do
true.
that.
She hasn't even
And
toured
I,
yet.
I think I appreciated like they told the story about how the song came to be. I think that's the only way they could have done this.
That's true, yeah.
Because it's like you've already seen like the Disney Channel pop girlies, but like I feel like Olivia Rodrigo definitely probably struggled as a child actor. She kind of talked about it in her interview with Drew Barrymore
Yeah.
recently, like talking about like how, and also in no, she talked about it in the documentary how like when you're a child star, like everybody's just so amazed that you can do it, and it just like makes you second guess everything. Like nothing you
Yeah.
do is good because people like saying that I'm good when it's like it doesn't feel like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever she was saying, and but she hasn't like had like a big blowout like you know Demi and like who
That's
else
true, yeah.
Justin and so
Yeah.
it was a very pure little
Very
documentary. I really
pure.
liked it. Very
I enjoyed
pure.
it
I
too.
think she like it's just like she just makes me happy. Like I just want her to be protected because she is like of like these Disney Channel stars
Yeah.
going to like actual like stardom, and like I think it. I mean, she seems fine. I don't know, but she's also only what 19 or something.
Yeah. She's super young.
I don't even know how old she is. I think she's 19. Yeah, she's baby.
Yeah.
She is baby. And I do think more people are aware of like how badly child stars have been affected, and so I'm hoping. And she's so intelligent, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you watched her interviews? She's so deeply intelligent.
Yeah.
So like I just think, you know, I'm happy for her that she's like fine, you know, like she just has like normal people struggles, but she's like talented and like
period. And she's so young. Like I think what made that album so it was pure. Everyone loved it. It was pure, but not only that, it was like we've all been in like in that era where you're like, I'm gonna die right now because this person doesn't like me or something like that, and just how intense and deep everything feels when you're a teenager. So everyone was like, period, I relate to this.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it did so well.
Like how she was saying in the documentary, like how she likes to write her songs as like pictures kind of, and like being very detailed. I think that's why her and Taylor Swift music resonates with so many people, is because it's like it's specific moments that you can point out and like literally feel. And I think that's why people like go crazy bananas for like their songs, because it is like super specific. Like you can put yourself in that shoes, even if you haven't directly experienced that moment, like you understand, you know.
Yeah,
like how people write country and music and stuff.
Yeah, period. I was gonna add to that, but no, I actually like how you finished that. Okay, who would you like to see that we haven't discussed yet, or maybe like an updated one?
So Daniel stole my question.
Oh, really?
I was gonna ask that.
Okay, go ahead.
I told you that I was gonna ask you that.
You did.
Stole it from me
from the top.
Besides Dua Lipa, because this is what I'm using for Dua Lipa. So you know how like she had like a billion ads during her concert and and before her concert, which like fucking get in your bag, bitch. Like all power to you. But I feel like I was listening to somebody talk about her, and it's like she should be like an it girl. Like she should be an it girl, but like there's something that like isn't resonating with people to make her an it girl, because like it girl is like you want their life, and it's like she's incredibly beautiful, but we don't know too much about her personal life at all.
I don't know anything about her.
I just know she's extremely beautiful and writes bops.
That's it.
Pretty much it. And she dated Anwar Hadid for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And the guy from Lainey or whatever the fuck, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I know about her, but I don't really know anything about her personally. And I think if they're really trying to sell her as the pop star of the moment, like I think you do kind of need to have a docuseries or like a documentary about you. And I think it could, I don't know, I think it could just make her more relatable, you know, like kind of how Katy Perry did, I guess. Katy Perry's documentary did. And then also Kesha.
Yeah.
I think they're working on something with Kesha now that I'm thinking about it.
They have to, yeah. Well, we're getting oh wait, never mind. That's Britney Spears. I thought I was gonna say we're getting a book, but we're getting a book from Britney Spears.
Yeah.
So that's what's fun. Something to look forward to.
What about you?
I would love to watch both of those. I think I would go with Megan Thee Stallion, because just seeing how like I don't know. I mean, they would have had to have filmed it already, and I don't think they did. But like seeing like how she finished her degree and like she got so famous so quickly, and like not only that, but she's like a Black female artist. That's so admirable. She was at the Grammys like so quickly. Like I don't know. I want to know more about her, and I feel like she would be.
People didn't give her respect in the industry. I feel like as much as she deserved. I still don't think they do.
No, I don't think they do. Especially because like never mind.
It just happened in her career, and I feel like she's been famous for maybe like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Like star.
Also Lizzo. I love Lizzo. I want to know everything about Lizzo.
I feel like that definitely has to come.
Well, she did a like a contest right now. It just came out.
Yeah,
It's called like
yeah,
Big Girls or something.
yeah. For her
I
backup
watched that because
dancers.
I love Lizzo so much. So Lizzo and
I
Megan Thee
want Lizzo to have a
Stallion.
podcast.
I would listen to her
I
talk
want
about
Lizzo.
anything. Who else? Oh, did you
Literally.
watch? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying literally anything. Literally anything.
Literally anything about Lizzo. Did you see the Dominic? There's okay. It's not a documentary. It's like an episode of I think it's an episode of Vice maybe on Hulu. The Dominic Fike. It's like 1 hour
Yes.
documentary. That one is so interesting.
He is so
They
interesting.
could do a longer one maybe like later, like down the road when he's like after Euphoria and all that. Because like he went to
Because
prison
he
and
has a
that's like
genuinely very interesting upbringing.
yes, yes. And the little one kind of touched on it, but I want to know more. I want to know more. Maybe down the line. I don't know if
Well, because
now's
I
the
think when
time.
that documentary was coming out, it was like fresh slash she was still kind of going through it because
Yeah,
he is young.
yeah,
So,
super. Anyways,
yeah.
yeah. Any other ones? I was like looking at my Spotify right now, and I was like, who would I
You know,
watch?
some another docu series that was really interesting, and
Yeah,
really now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like interesting to look back because they're canceled, I guess. Brockhampton.
I didn't know they had
Brockhampton
one.
had a Vice series, and it was just so interesting. It was called American Idiot. Um, and like I only bring it up because like I was obsessed with
Mhm.
Brockhampton. Yeah. And they took up a lot of years of my life. You know, you were there for them.
Yeah, I was.
That was a genuine personality trait.
It was
Like I
so
feel like
funny because
every day I had something to say
you
about it,
did,
about
you did,
them.
and I was like, I'm gonna give it a listen because like I'm hearing about this every day, and I wanted to relate so
I
bad, and I
got
literally could not. No, I couldn't get
I
into it.
got
I
a
don't
lot
know
of people
why.
into them though.
You
Like
did.
I probably got
You
like a
did
small
press.
army into Brockhampton.
You were literally the social
Yeah.
media manager.
Their story is really interesting because it really was word of mouth how they got extremely popular.
Yeah. Hmm. I've heard
God,
nothing about that.
I feel like Kevin Abstract would come out with a documentary about it after the fact
Probably.
because they're having their last performance ever at Coachella this year, like ever.
Oh my god, Doja Cat also.
Yeah.
That's it. Period. Thanks for listening, guys. Let us know your favorite. I feel like people will have a lot of thoughts about this. The stands are here. The stands are here.
Yeah.
I would love to know other people's thoughts on documentaries, especially like growing up and like going back and rewatching them. I'm sure it's very interesting for like one. Sorry, Directioners. Drop the one. And I don't know. Let us know
I'll
and let
take
us know who
anything I
you
can
want it.
get with One Direction at this point, to be honest.
Period. In separately or together?
Anything. Anything of them being genuinely honest about what happened.
Period. That would. Oh my god, the dude. And I do think we're probably gonna get it at some point, somehow, in some
Who do you
shape or
think is going to
form.
be the first one to crack?
Liam. Liam's gonna do it tomorrow, probably.
Niall would do it on accident.
Now we'll do an accident. I think with enough persuasion, Louis and Harry could be involved. Not yet. I don't think anytime soon. But down the line, I could definitely see Louis and Harry talking about it. Zayn, we're never getting.
You
I don't think
know, we're
we're
going to get like a biopic about One Direction at some point.
hundred percent.
Like a Rocket Man,
We're gonna take our
Bohemian
kids to see that movie.
Rhapsody.
I'm gonna
Oh.
drag them to see that movie.
I'm like cringing already thinking about it, but yeah, I'm going to see it 100%.
All the kids. It's like what Bohemian Rhapsody did, where we were all obsessed with Queen for like a little bit. That's gonna the next generation is gonna have that, but with One Direction. They're gonna be like, I wish they were still together. And like,
Yeah.
also do we right now. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Happy 50th episode, by the way.
That's crazy. I saw that on the story and I was like, whoa.
I literally was typing it out and I was
That's
like, oh wait, 50th. Yeah. We'll talk more when we get to 100. That's like the big one.
That's another 2 years, maybe.
You're
Year and a
right.
half.
I
Yeah.
feel like podcast episodes move very quickly.
Yes, like scarily. Scarily.
Anyways, thank
Anyways.
you all for listening. Follow us on our Instagram at our.hollywood, letterbox at our Hollywood YouTube at our Hollywood. Um, did I say everything? I think that's everything. Rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review.
Bully
That's
TikTok into giving me my account back.
Oh yeah, everyone go bully TikTok. 'Cause Kim wants her TikTok back. All right, bye guys. Have a good. Oh, I was gonna say have a good night, but I don't know what you're listening to right now. All right, bye.